There is a force moving through your life at every moment, silent, obedient, and unimaginably powerful. It is the universal law of mind, and it responds not to your wishes, not to your dreams, but to your focus. Whatever you hold in the spotlight of your attention becomes the command you give to the universe. Your thoughts are not empty. They are instructions. Your emotions are not random. They are signals. And your focus is the magnetic current that draws into your life the exact reflection of what you dwell upon. Right now, you are creating your future with the images you allow into your mind. If you focus on fear, fear multiplies. If you focus on lack, lack takes root. But the moment you choose to focus on abundance, peace, success, and divine right action, the universe begins rearranging itself to deliver those very experiences to you. This is the astonishing truth known to the greatest spiritual teachers. Your mind is the gateway through which the universe expresses itself. You are not a victim of circumstances, you are the architect of them. What you repeatedly focus on becomes the blueprint of your destiny, stamped upon your subconscious and projected outward as the facts of your life. The universe is a mirror, reflecting not what you want, but what you consistently focus on with feeling. Change your focus and you change the entire trajectory of your life. Place your attention on the good, and the good will seek you. Fix your mind on divine possibilities, and possibilities will unfold before you with effortless grace. Your focus is not merely a mental activity, it is a creative force that sends a definite instruction into the invisible intelligence of the universe. Every time you concentrate your attention on an idea, you are in fact giving it life, energy, and direction. The universe is not separate from you, it is interwoven with your thoughts, responding to the signals you broadcast through your inner attention. When you hold an image or desire in your mind with persistence and clarity, you imprint it upon your subconscious, and this inner impression becomes the blueprint that the universe begins to fulfill. You are continuously shaping your experiences, not by chance, but by the mental pictures you allow to dominate your consciousness. Think of your focus as a beam of creative light. Wherever you direct this beam, the universe begins to construct conditions that match it. If you focus on problems, you energize them. If you dwell on harmony, you activate harmonious outcomes. This law is impartial and exact, working for the good, the undesirable, and everything in between. The more intensely you focus on something, the more rapidly you draw its equivalent into your life. Your focus becomes a form of spiritual magnetism, attracting people, events, and opportunities that correspond to your dominant mental state. Most people scatter their focus on fear, doubt, or worry, and then wonder why similar conditions appear in their lives. But the moment you choose to harness your focus consciously on success, abundance, faith, and the good you desire, the entire creative machinery of the universe moves in your favor. You are never waiting on the universe is waiting on the direction of your focus. When your attention is consistently aligned with what you truly want, you issue a powerful command, and the universe unfailingly provides its equivalent. The subconscious mind is the silent builder of your life, constantly shaping your experiences according to the thoughts and images you dwell upon. It does not question, analyze, or judge. It simply accepts whatever you repeatedly impress upon it as true. Whatever you focus on with consistency becomes a seed planted in this fertile inner ground, and the subconscious begins to reproduce it in the outer world through circumstances, ideas, opportunities, and even chance encounters. This is why your dominant mental atmosphere ultimately becomes the pattern of your life. What you allow to stay in your mind, whether empowering or destructive, forms the mold from which your experiences are cast. When you repeatedly think of harmony, success, health, and abundance, the subconscious takes these impressions and works tirelessly to bring them forth. It guides you toward the right decisions, attracts the right people, and orchestrates events that align with the mental picture you hold. On the other hand, if your mind is filled with fear, doubt, or limitation, those impressions are also accepted and expressed. The subconscious does not differentiate between what you want and what you don't want. It only reflects what you consistently focus on. This is why mental discipline is essential. Stray thoughts may appear and disappear, but the thoughts you dwell upon, the emotions you rehearse, and the images you return to again and again form the blueprint of your future. Your subconscious mind is infinitely creative, but it depends entirely on the focus of your conscious mind for direction. When you understand that your inner attention is the architect of your outer conditions, you begin to choose your thoughts with care. By dwelling only on the outcomes you desire, you allow the subconscious to do its perfect work, reproducing the good you have allowed to dominate your mind. Emotion is the fuel that amplifies your focus and accelerates the process of manifestation. A thought by itself is like a seed, but emotion is the water, the sunlight, and the nourishment that causes that seed to grow rapidly within the subconscious mind. When you feel something deeply, whether it is joy, gratitude, fear, or anxiety, you intensify the vibration of that thought and send a much stronger signal into the creative medium of the universe. This is why fleeting thoughts often pass by without effect, but emotionally charged thoughts leave powerful impressions that shape events, conditions, and outcomes. Your subconscious responds most quickly to feelings. It does not respond to empty words or mechanical affirmations. It responds to the emotional tone behind them. When your feelings match your desire, when you feel abundance while thinking abundant thoughts, or feel peace while imagining peaceful outcomes, you create a state of harmony between thought and emotion. This harmony produces a powerful magnetic field that attracts corresponding experiences into your life with far greater speed. The greater the emotional certainty, the faster the manifestation. Conversely, when you allow negative emotions, such as fear, resentment, or doubt to mingle with your thoughts, you unintentionally strengthen the very conditions you are trying to avoid. Emotion does not discriminate between what is wanted and what is unwanted. It simply energizes whatever idea it echoes. Empanies. If you fear failure, that fear becomes a magnet. If you feel unworthy, that feeling becomes a magnet. This is why cultivating emotional mastery is essential. By deliberately generating emotions of confidence, gratitude, faith, and joy, you enhance the creative power of your thoughts. You begin to feel the reality of your desire as though it is already taking form. This emotional embodiment sends a clear and powerful message to the subconscious and the universe: this is my reality. And the universe, always obedient, begins aligning events to match that emotional frequency. Removing your attention from the negative is one of the most powerful ways to dissolve its influence over your life. Whatever you withdraw your focus from begins to lose energy, momentum, and form, because the subconscious mind can only sustain what you continually feed with thought and emotion. When you stop rehearsing past hurts, stop replaying fearful scenarios, and stop giving mental space to limiting beliefs, those patterns begin to fade from your inner world. The universe responds not to the presence of a problem, but to the presence of your attention. When you turn your gaze away from the undesirable, you cut off its source of life. Many people unknowingly empower negative conditions by constantly thinking about them. They talk about them, fear them, analyze them, and imagine them repeatedly. In doing so, they strengthen the very situations they want to escape. But the moment you shift your attention to what you do want, peace, health, clarity, abundance, you activate a new vibration. And this new vibration begins to overwrite the old pattern. Energy follows attention. The more you dwell on the good, the more the good expands. The more you ignore the negative, the more it withers. This does not mean pretending problems don't exist. It means refusing to give them creative power through mental focus. You acknowledge them, but you do not feed them. You redirect your thoughts to solutions, to higher possibilities, to the outcome you desire. Just as darkness cannot survive in the presence of light, negative conditions cannot endure when the light of your attention is withdrawn. As you practice turning away from fear and toward faith, away from lack and toward abundance, away from conflict and toward harmony, you teach your subconscious mind where to direct its creative inner. The universe mirrors this shift faithfully. What once caused you anxiety begins to lose its grip. What once seemed powerful becomes powerless. And in its place, new patterns of good, guided by your renewed focus, begin to take shape in your life. Consistent mental imagery is one of the most potent forces in human creation, because the subconscious mind responds most directly to pictures and impressions rather than to words alone. When you repeatedly visualize a desired outcome, seeing it clearly, feeling it as real, and returning to it day after day, you are giving the subconscious a precise pattern to express. It works like a blueprint, guiding your actions, shaping your expectations, and drawing to you the people, ideas, and conditions that align with the image you hold within. Every time you revisit that image, you deepen the imprint, strengthening its creative power and accelerating its manifestation. Most people use mental imagery unconsciously, imagining difficulties, replaying worries, and picturing worst-case scenarios. They do this without realizing that these inner pictures act as instructions. Whatever you imagine with emotional involvement begins to take form, because the subconscious accepts these images as the truth of your intention. But when you consciously choose to fill your inner vision with what you want, abundance, success, health, harmonious relationships, you train your inner mind to reproduce those conditions in the outer world. Mental imagery creates a bridge between your present and your future. Even if your current circumstances do not match your desire, your imagination allows you to inhabit the feeling of the fulfilled state. This feeling becomes a powerful signal, communicating to the universe that the outcome already exists for you. The more real it becomes in your inner world, the faster it begins to take shape externally. Consistency is the key. A single visualization may spark inspiration, but it is the repeated, unwavering mental picture that transforms your reality. As you hold the image steadily, especially with faith, gratitude, and emotional certainty, you activate a creative force that cannot be denied. Conditions shift, pathways open, and events unfold in ways that align perfectly with the inner picture you have faithfully sustained. Aligning your focus with faith is one of the most transformative practices because it brings your thoughts into harmony with the higher intelligence that governs the universe. Faith is more than belief. It is a deep inner knowing that what you desire already exists in the invisible and is moving toward expression. When your focus rests on an idea with this level of confidence, you create a mental and emotional atmosphere that invites divine guidance, clarity, and inspired action. The subconscious mind responds to faith with ease, because faith carries no resistance, no doubt, and no conflicting vibrations. It is a state of acceptance, and whatever you accept as true begins to manifest. When you align your focus with faith, you elevate your thoughts from fear-based imagining to spiritual certainty. This shift in inner attitude opens doors that were previously invisible. You begin to notice intuitive nudges, unexpected opportunities, and meaningful coincidences that seem to appear at just the right time. These are not accidents. They are the universe responding to your inner conviction.